So, crazy times are here. We are seeing inflation. This is just absolutely rampant and out of control. And I was thinking to myself, was life better in 2019 versus where we are now, where everything's just skyrocketing up and the cost of living is really starting to impact just to the average Australian? I was just out at Coles doing my weekly grocery shopping and I saw 2 boxes of Cocoa Pops for $17.10, and that was on special. And I was thinking, how the heck are Cocoa Pops worth that much? All it is sugar and rice. Which brings us to today's video topic of, let's have a look at Coles from 2019 to 2022. How much has everything increased in value? Has everything gone up? Has everything gone down? How much we're getting ripped off? Has anything actually gone down? We're going to find out. But let's jump into our first item and see how much Coles has got us in a headlock. All right, let's kick it off. So a couple of things. We're going to look at the undiscounted prices only. So we're going to look at what it was in 2019 without any discounts, and then 2022 without any discounts. And we're going to have a look at the percentage is increased or decreased. So first things first, let's have a look at a staple in a lot of people's diets: bread. So Coles white bread, it was $2 back in 2019, and now it is $2.50. So that is a 25% increase just for bread. And it is an important food. I know one of my friends says bread is not a real food. It is incredibly unhealthy. But you know what? I like my Vegemite sandwiches, so bread is important to my diet. Now let's have a look at another staple in the Australian diet, that is snags. So sausages used to be $10 back in 2019 for 2 packs of sausages. Come into 2022, it's $12 for 2 packs. So that's an increase of 20%. 20% increase for snags on the barbie. That is fucking criminal. That is fucking criminal, bro. All right, bacon. So Babe Pig in the City, except edible, used to be $12 for a kilogram. Now looks like it's shifted up to $15 for a kilogram. That's a 25% increase for bacon. Another essential that a lot of people need, so milk. So 2 liters of milk back in 2019, that was $2.10 for 2 liters. Now in 2022, looks, huge jump up. So that's $3.10 for 2 liters. That's a 48% increase for the cost of milk. Bigger cheese. Now this is, for me, this was an essential. So I don't know if you guys have like seen the intro to Step Brothers, and there's just like some Doritos and they're just like grate cheese on it and just melt in the microwave and eat that. That was like my early 20s, and I'm not ashamed too much to say that occasionally I still indulge in that right now. So a bigger block of cheese, 1 kilogram, used to be $13.40. Now it is $15. So that's a 12% increase. So 12% more for me to microwave grated cheese on Doritos. Maybe it's time I remove that from my diet. Like, it can't be healthy, bro. But it's so good. It's so good. Okay, cat food. So food for Garfield, not lasagna. I know he likes lasagna, but this is like tins of cat food. And we're actually going to have a look at something called shadow inflation here. So, we're going to learn something about the economy and how the economy works. So shadow inflation is when goods are reduced in quality or reduced in quantity to try and match the same output as before. And this is very difficult for economists to kind of calculate when they're looking at CPIs, because the reduction in quantity or quality of the goods can be very hard because they just see the prices and not so much those extra factors towards it. So shadow inflation, that's a creeping thing. So in this case, Felix cat food, 27 tins, 85 grams, used to cost $25. Now, what this company's done is they've used shadow inflation to their advantage. So $26 now is for the same box, looking exactly the same, except for one little change. There's only 24 tins in the box now. So they've reduced the total amount of tins in the box by by 3, and they've only raised it up $1. So if economists were looking at this, they'd say, well, the cat food, Felix cat food, that's only had a small increase. So cost per tin in 2022. So instead of looking at it as 24, if we increase it back to the same it was before to 27, that $26 is not the same anymore. We'd actually be looking at $29.25, which is a 17% increase. So 17% increase on inflation once we kind of remove shadow inflation out of the picture and just look at apple for apple, orange to orange, looking at it that way. Oh, Nescafe Blend 43. I'm pretty sure every single hipster in Melbourne, this is just a sin to them. This is not real coffee to them. For me, I grew up on this shit, to be honest. My fucking parents loved it. So I learned to like coffee via Nescafe Blend 23. But 2019 was $20 for a tin of it. Coming into 2022 December, we were looking at $24 for the tin, which is a 20% increase to pricing. So 20% up for the cost of coffee. Don't pay attention to the in-cafe prices of coffee. That is astronomically higher than 20%. Okay, moving across to our canine friends, Milo and Otis's Food. Who remembers that movie, Milo and Otis? It was a classic movie. But dog food, and see another example of a company trying to hide the increase to the cost of their goods. So a little bit of shadow inflation occurring here. So back in 2019, 3 kilograms of dog food cost $15.50. Now come into 2022, what they've done is they've slightly reduced it from 3 kilograms down to 2.8 kilograms. So slight reduction. So it looks like it's only gone up $1 from $15.50 to the 2022 price of $16.50. So a $1 increase is what it looks like. But if you factor in the quantity from back in 2019, matching 3 kilograms to 3 kilograms in 2022, instead of it just being $1 increase, it actually moves up to $17.68, which is a 14% increase to dog food. So once again, companies are trying to hide the increasing cost of their goods, thinking consumers won't realize that the quantity has been reduced and the price has only just gone up a little bit and it's still affordable. Very sneaky stuff, and this is widespread too. Okay, here's a big boy. So Coca-Cola. Everyone knows Coca-Cola is drunk all around the world. It is the dentist's best friend. Even though dentists say, oh, don't drink Coca-Cola, it's sugary, it's bad for your teeth. Dentists love this shit. This keeps them in business. So 2 liters of Coca-Cola used to cost $2.85, but coming across into December 2022, we are at undiscounted price of $4.55. That is a 60% increase. That is huge. That is the biggest increase we've seen on any goods so far on this list. Why has it gone up so much? They fucking brought cocaine back into the Coca-Cola again? Is that what's going on? Is this the Colombian Coke? No, fuck that, dude. Like that's a huge jump. So Coca-Cola, they're taking the fucking piss out of this pandemic with them kind of increases. All right, Heinz baked beans and spaghetti. Every Australian knows Heinz. Every Australian loves Heinz. This is one of the, you put baked beans on toast, you put spaghetti on toast. Who remembers that growing up as a kid? I used to eat that stuff all the time. But it used to cost $2 a tin. In 2019. Now, 2022, just a bit further down the track, up to $2.50 a tin. So that's 25% increase. Okay, honey. So Capilano Honey. I've seen this in the supermarket since I was like a child. This brand just never goes anywhere. And honey never expires. It lasts for like 1,000 years or something like that. But it used to be worth $7.35 for a little squeeze bottle of honey. Now it is up to $8.60. And that is a 17% increase to honey. I don't think them workers in the Bee movie got a 17% salary increase. So now we have the classic Coles Hot Chook. Coles Hot Chook used to cost $10 back 2019. Come December 2022, we are at $11. That's only a 10% increase. So Coles keeping the chooks honest. That's good stuff. Oh fuck, here we go. Okay, so Lynx deodorant. So Xbox edition back in 2019. It used to be Africa, and I think they changed it to Xbox because Lynx Africa copped such a hard run against it. It just wasn't marketable to teenage kids anymore because everyone just ripped on Lynx Africa. It was like, yeah, Lynx Africa, you basic motherfucker. So they changed it to Lynx Xbox, and that was $6 for a little deodorant bottle. Moving into 2022, well, back to Lynx Africa deodorant. That is up to $8 for a deodorant spray bottle. That's a 33% increase to the cost of Lynx Africa. I would also like to take this moment to apologize to every girlfriend I had across my teenage years and early 20s for having to put up with me wearing Lynx Africa. I am a living meme for wearing it. It was just a cool deodorant, bro. Bro, it was just a cool deodorant. It's all I knew what to get. I have learned better. I do not buy Lynx Africa anymore. I have grown up. I now have different spray things for different occasions. Like Jira deodorant. Smells like cherry. I'm still a shocker, bro. Let's move on. Now the classic Maggi 2-minute noodles. So it used to be $3.95 back 2019. That's for your standard 6-pack. Coming into 2022, we are looking at $5. So that's a 27% increase to your basic packs of noodles. Like, bro, like it seriously can't cost them that much to make noodles. You see like the home brand noodles next to it, there's like $1.20 for a 6-pack currently, and these guys are charging like $5. It doesn't make sense. Oh, here we go. And this is an example of not just inflation occurring across to a product, but also a cultural change we've gone through. So this is the McCain man-size chicken Kiev. Man-size. This company, McCain, they got absolutely reamed for this. Yeah, what is it man-size? Well, you females can't eat it? You think females can't handle the chicken Kiev? This company got reamed. So they had to change it across from man size to a more modern and fitting title, pub size chicken Kiev. So yeah, not just a price increase from $8 for the man size to now looking at $8.50 for the pub size. So that's only a 6% increase. That's not too bad at all. That's a very small increase to the cost. But McCain, you've done it again. They got a lot of shit for that one. Another Australian staple, Milo. A tin of Milo used to cost $7. $7 for your Milo. I had this for breakfast all the time. I was an absolute fiend for Milo. I just loved the stuff. And now it has moved up to, in 2022, to $8.80. That's a 26% increase to the cost of Milo. So your yummy Milo milk drinks, cost of milk went up as well. It's like a small mortgage on a house just to have a glass of milk with some Milo in it. Too expensive. Everyone's like ripping on like avocados. No, not avocados, bro, for millennials. Milo is where we're losing all our money. Now moving across from expense for young families, nappies. They've always been expensive, but now having a look back in 2019, a 62-pack of nappies, that cost $27. You get 62 nappies. Another case of shadow inflation happening here. So this company has turned around and they've reduced the amount of nappies in the box. So where they used to be 62, they've now dropped it down to 54. So for 54 nappies, they're charging $30. So it only looks like it was from 27 to 30, looks like a $3 increase. So the average young family was like, oh, that's only $3 up for the nappies. But they have lost 8 nappies to the box. So if we adjust across from the 2019 pricing to the 2022 pricing, the 2022 box had the same quantity of nappies, we'd be looking at $34.44 for the box of nappies, which is a 28% increase to nappies. And that is a burden on young families. I'd have a chat with one of my friends. He's got two very young kids, just to find out how many nappies he goes through. And he's going through 2 of these boxes per week. It's absolutely bonkers. So if you're looking at, what, $60 a week across a year. There's $3,000 a year on nappies, so young families are absolutely feeling the brunt of that right now. They're absolutely getting flogged. And across to now, something has been all across the news. The great potato shortage. We're running out of potatoes. So it used to be $4 for a 2-kilogram bag in 2019. Moved up now from the great potato shortage. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just think the media's ridiculous reporting on it, saying, oh, we're running out of potatoes. Yeah, no, we can always grow more. So 2022, potatoes have moved up to $6 for 2 kilograms, which is a 50% increase to the cost of potatoes. Potatoes, bang them, mash them, stick them in a stew. So potatoes up half as much. Finally getting across to talking about the price of prawns. Oh yeah, should title this video discussing the price of prawns. So prawns for a kilogram, they used to cost $30. Now moving across into 2022, we are looking at $36 for the same kilogram of prawns scooped out of the ocean. So 20% increase to the cost of prawns. I remember just going through Christmas and always get a seafood Christmas and have it with the family. And I remember prawns this year, I was like, oh no, it's gone up heaps. Yeah, so 20% increase kind of felt about right. So we just had to chip in a little bit more on the seafood this year. Luckily, there wasn't too many of us, so it didn't burden too heavily or too hard. But you know, you still notice the price of the Christmas bills going up this year. And last but not least, the one thing that everyone scrambled for in the pandemic, and there was shortages and it was chaos and it was the end of the world, toilet paper. So toilet paper back 2019, before the chaos that ensued afterwards, used to cost $5.80 for a pack of Quilton. Moving across 2022 up to $6.50. Only a 12% increase though. So considering that Coles literally turned into a scene from World War Z across 2020 as people scrambled in trying to get this at all costs, a 12% hike, it seems pretty low from what I would have thought it would have been. So that's 20 items across from Coles. Now let's have a look at some more economic fun, some more economic theory. Let's talk about the CPI. So in 2020, we had a CPI increase of 0.85%. In 2021, we had a CPI increase of 2.82%. And in 2022, so our highest big jump that happened was a CPI increase of 7.8%. So if we go from 2020, 2021, 2022, and then add it all up and just kind of compounds it through, our difference in change from the end of 2019 to 2022, so between our two groceries, works out to 11.78%. So that's what's been reported through from the Australian government saying, okay, we've gone up this, and then this, and that's what we work out to. So the total increase is 11.78% reported. Now, if we add up all these groceries that we've just ran through, add up the 20 items, and then we have a look at the increases and then divide it out, what we'll find is that this entire shopping bundle has actually had a 24.75% increase in the cost. So that's a bit more than what's been reported through from the government. So that is a 12.97% variance on what's reported to what we're seeing in the grocery stores based off them aggregated values. And, you know, like, sure as fucking shit, mate. You know, the cost of energy, the cost of fuel, the cost of housing, that hasn't lowered it down towards the 11.78% that's been reported. It's got to be higher than that. So I think our government is underreporting inflation, and based off this, they are fucking well under. So I'm scared for 2023 of what's going to happen as we keep trying to raise interest rates to combat this down, because the number they're reporting that we're battling down on inflation and CPI, that number is underreported. It's much higher. If we look at all this stuff, it's way higher. We're trying to battle it down, raising interest rates. How can we trust that it's working when it's underreported in the first place by not just 1 or 2%, we're talking over 10% variance based off this. To get it down to like that 11.78% that they're reporting through, we'd have to factor in things like maybe housing's only gone up 5% over the last 3 years. No, it hasn't. Housing's absolutely ripped through the roof. Energy, so your power bills, has not gone up just 5% over the last 3 years. It's ripped through the roof. And of course, you know, like fuel, petrol. No, 2020, when this was being factored and calculated through, counting out from CPI, fuel dropped below $1 a litre. And now it's up to like $1.70. We've seen it over $2 a litre. Absolutely wild. So, underreported inflation from the government. So that is scary, and it's something to really look out for in 2023. Now, of course, all this stuff is completely out of our control. We can't lose sleep at night thinking, it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do about inflation? And like you lose your hair and stuff like that. You know, like your wages haven't gone up, you know, 25% or anything like that over the last, you know, 3 years. I think we've been seeing 2 to 3% increases to Australian wages. So I think the only thing you can do, this is what I did in 2021. I saw this trend happening. I said, shit, we're going to get absolutely hammered with inflation. I need to increase my revenue. So I started delivery driving. If you're interested in increasing your revenue, I've got links down below in the description on delivery driving to make, you know, that extra $100, $200 a week to offset this absolute hemorrhage to your back pocket right now. But guys, that's where we're at, and it's shocking. It's just moved up so much further than what wage growth has been. The cost of living is absolutely hammered right now for Australians, and I don't know if it's going to get any easier anytime soon. I think we have a very tough year ahead of us in the economy. But that's all for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button to see more videos like this, and until next time, peace out.